There's no, yeah,
Yeah.
you know, no grilling, yeah, no loud music, oh, yeah. How many people are you expecting?
Well, I don't think people had a
Oh,
problem with the loud music, it was
Bye.
the kind of music they were playing. It was-
Right.
'cause I had a-
Oh,
It was the vulgarity. of it. It was
Mhm.
bad.
yeah, some of it can get pretty bad. And then
Because
they're blasting.
Last
it.
year it was really loud too, but no one complained,
about, yeah,
because music was
Yeah.
just,
What is it for, like appreciation,
they do some like office party
team building?
team thing or whatever.
Maybe we should do that. At the pool, after the dogs go in possibly. Okay, we ready?
We're ready.
All right, call the Munster Board of Parks and Recreation meeting to order for August 20th. First item is public comment. Seeing that we have no public comment, unless someone emailed you, they want to email you. No, we've got no one here. We'll move on to administrative matters, approval of the park board minutes for July 16th.
I'll move to approve the minutes. July 16th.
I'll second. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Pause.
Ayes have it. Next time I'll pause. Well, I'm trying to break the record by, what's his name, Servant. So,
The 5
yeah,
minutes.
there's too much.
we're,
There's too much on the agenda.
I understand, so I'll slow down. Confirmation or the approval of the park vouchers.
It all looked good to me.
Motion to approve the vouchers.
I'll second it.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Reports, the August board report.
All right, I'll slow things down.
No, I really don't want you to.
Yeah.
I've got a full day starting at 6 o'clock and drive to Midway Airport tomorrow morning, so
Fine.
All right,
Do what you
I'll
gotta do.
expedite, I'll expedite.
that's true.
We're working with community estates out there, still to get the drainage going, to the satisfaction of the neighbor, the park from the developers, that's still in the works. Frank Hammond Park track was repaved in the last month, where, Permaseal will be doing the striping, so it's a different company doing that, we're hoping to get that done in the next few weeks yet. Monon Trailhead, we've been meeting with Nickety about, they're gonna add a fence along the front, along Ridge Road, and that's about 10-15 feet along the path, because the sidewalk was elevated to match the elevation of the crossing at the tracks. And there was a separation, there's basically a curve now at the north end of the trailhead, so there'll be a fence there, so no one falls into the plaza, if you will. So it'll be an architectural style fence, similar to what many other businesses are required to put in town on their frontage. So we just approved that with them today. That's all on their cost to do that. The shelter rentals, we were talking about briefly, but we've been reviewing our policies and the rentals. We've been putting together some numbers internally, just some numbers for you to consider, specifically at Cobblestones. Over the last 5 years, we averaged 2 rentals a year at that park. The Bluebird gets up to about 5, Beach has 4 on average a year. Frank Hammond, less than 1 per year, Grove about 2.5 per year, Stewart once a year, Westlake's 4 per year, so those are our smaller ones. We're kind of been brainstorming a little bit about maybe kind of trying to steer those parties or those rentals to Centennial Community and White Oak, where we're larger shelters, a lot more parking at all those parks, more so than what these neighborhood parks have through their shelters. But we'll bring something to you here in the future. We may want to edit some of our rules about music, because that's been a complaint, and I think that that'll be a thing to make sure that what is in the park is not negatively impacting the particular neighborhood where a shelter is being rented. So Pop Warner has asked, they actually are continuing to grow their numbers. They're up to 6 teams this year. Last year they had 5. They're looking for more space. They like to be all at the same location, because their rules, they have to have, and I'm gonna say it wrong, I'm gonna call it a nurse on site during practices, so they want one location. They only have to get away with one location where they have to have a nurse on site for their practices. But just something that we're looking at in the future, and in response to that, I know they just, in case you're not aware, they're permitted to use Cobblestones Park in the fall. We also permit the baseball field. Little League uses the fall ball uses that ball field. I think in the future, Little League has enough fields in the fall ball, in my opinion. We can give it to them up until August first. And when August first is typically when the permit starts for Pop Warner, give them the entire green space. The other one, I know we've mentioned kind of in passing, I think we even earmarked it a little bit in the master plan about potentially removing these tennis courts at that site. I'm gonna go ahead and I think I kind of heard a consensus that to try to bring together, get some proposals and bring it to you for that consideration to see what that would cost to remove the courts. And just basically make that more green space in the particular location there. So as you can see, it would create, expand a lot more, have a lot more green space. It would be a large area there. Kristen had asked me as a consideration about considering moving Pop Warner. I know she's mentioned in a couple meetings before the beach. Just as a comparison, this open green space area is about 225,000 square feet compared to about 190,000 square feet at beach. So it's about 15% bigger here. We do have more parking at beach. As Mike mentioned, but for the neighborhood, there's that challenge of them being in one site during those hours that they're out there. But I do think that in the end, this is still their best place that we can meet any need for them currently in our park system space. So
Well, if you take the Little League field use and follow it, maybe you could move it to, Briar Creek Park has that backstop fence there. All it would need is just some minor improvement on that field. So there's a spot that Little League could.
We
move to
actually-
potentially.
every ball field we have, Mike, is permitted to either softball or baseball.
But
And I
nobody
think
uses
Briar
that.
Creek is already to them, so that's good to know though, that if no one's using it, but yeah.
And
It's,
Briar Creek's actually that large amount there. So
Mhm.
yeah, there's a
Yeah.
baseball diamond. It's all green, so it's not
Yeah.
actually maintained.
right,
So if we just improved that slightly, you could move
Yeah.
the ball a little bit over there.
and giving them the back spot is not that bad, because if we put in the stone, that's another maintenance task that because we're out on those fields about once a week.
Well, the backstop is there. We just have to do the grass. We have to just
Yeah.
do something on the grass.
So consideration for us, but yeah, I just wanted to give you that heads up. I'm gonna work towards getting pricing, at least for the immediate removal of that. We've struggled with trying to get those tennis courts to work. I think we have, and in the master plan, it was earmarked where we were over courted in tennis courts. I think that was one of the areas that.
So pickleball doesn't even survive back there?
We've never tried pickleball here because those courts are so badly
Oh.
cracked. We've never, I didn't,
Oh,
when
I
we
just
restriked all the other ones, we didn't put it here because we've struggled with trying to get those, I think they've been repaved entirely twice before, that was before I got here.
Well, I think that usage is because of the dog issue.
And it could be the dog
That
issue as
is
well.
probably,
yeah.
when you have dog urination there, you can put up some signs, say, no pets.
Yeah.
Too.
I do think if we can
Dogs in
add pickleball, the north side of town, if we could find space, it would be more.
I mean, I know
Yeah,
Frank
some on the
Hammond is
south side,
loaded,
but,
so, which
yeah,
is fine.
yeah.
It's good, so.
I don't see a lot of people ever play, I've never seen anybody play volleyball.
They were
at that
playing there
small
today.
court. Were they really?
I
I've
drive by
never
there
seen anybody.
4 times a day, so yes.
Basketball I see off and on, but isn't that a place you could probably add parking to?
You could, I mean, if you wanted to remove that.
Those
that's
courts are
the
damaged
extension.
too pretty bad.
Yeah, it's gonna be time to do that. I mean, the playground is in I mean, we could even,
I don't know that I would recommend removing it. I mean, if you're gonna add some parking, I would improve the parking that we already have. That little lot that we have is not even striped anymore.
yeah,
But the playground,
How many people?
no, not that one. I'm talking about
The
the
one on-
playground
oh, here,
on the street. The
Yeah.
street parking there is not, no longer, than you can't even see the stripes. People just literally park like. Cause there's
Really
no,
everywhere.
there's no
Yeah.
stripes. There's
Yeah.
nothing to tell where you should park.
well, when you combine both lots, there is only like 28 spots, I believe, is what I counted earlier today. So I mean, it's not, there's just not a lot for how many teams are out there. I mean, that's the bottom line, but yeah, I mean, we can look at trying to get that repainted, and get that, updated that way as well.
Well, so basketball and the volleyball courts are used like. all
Basketball
the
is used,
time.
because I know a lot of trainers take kids there and use it. It's just not in great shape, I know that.
There were 4 girls today when they were playing volleyball.
It's funny, I brought it up and I've never seen it.
Yeah, I just drove by there on the way here.
Continuing through we had some porta potty vandalism out at West Lakes, pretty bad to the point where the whole unit was collapsed down. multiple times it happened. That was the final straw for the vendor. We said, we're not putting one back unless you do something different. We had to spend a few dollars. Kevin was able to get it installed. We put up some surveillance cameras out there that are pointed right at the porta potty, but at least we got it back there. We had a shelter rental this past weekend. We got it there in time, and it's fall soccer, so they're just starting.
Well, they got game cameras?
Or
Did you buy game cameras?
they're almost like a trailer camera type
Yeah.
of thing, almost. Yeah, it's similar, but.
It's like a little 4x6 solar panel,
Yeah.
people charged up.
Site plan review committee, last week I was a little surprised because the site plan review of which by my position, I'm on that committee, we review anything that comes into town and the school had submitted their plans for the tennis court.
Which is horrible, I'm just gonna say.
I kind of felt the same way.
That's the worst layout I think I've seen in a long time.
Kristen was at that meeting. They insist, they feel that that is the angle that they're supposed to be laid out at. They mentioned that it's on the same angle. I felt that anyone on the north side, I would not want to be on that side after school hours or when they're playing after school hours, because the sun would be in your eyes. But they will tell you that it matches the angle of these, which I would assume was done because of the angle of the school, but, those points were made and shared, so that's something. I also shared that I said it's interesting that you're already here because there's no agreement yet in place that's been approved. So we're still waiting for any kind of agreement to get approved.
Right.
They were trying to get ahead of the game. We definitely said they
Pretty
had
impressive.
nothing about any additional storm water capacity, which they're surely gonna have to, all that hardcore surface into this area, is something they will have to account for. So they're doing their work. I will see what happens. I did share in that report, just so you see the drawing of what it was, but yeah, I felt that it, was a little odd there for them. I did share with them the rules about the land and water conservation fund stuff that you guys, I think, are aware of, that there's certain areas of the park that they can build in. It has to be outdoor recreation. Tennis courts is outdoor recreation. That qualifies. I think support structures are gonna be fine. Bathrooms, even if they put in a little.
What do they need a locker room for?
If, I'm not sure on that side of it, yeah, that's some.
You have a building that's literally across right there.
Yeah. Why they need that, that's the question.
And visiting teams that come bring their stuff, they get off, they're already.
Concession stands for tennis, give me a break.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
What are they gonna
Chris
do?
was also at that meeting, just so you're aware, so.
When I get rid
He
of
was
the
here.
pool, you're gonna need concession stands for my new social center, so just hold on. See, watch this, watch all of a sudden we're gonna get a bunch of visitors pop up on the screen.
Yeah. So, I just wanted to share with you that that was a plan that came through. It got initial feedback from the town, not necessarily to say yay or nay, but about whether it meets the requirements that anything would happen. It still would end eventually going to plan commission after there's a formal agreement in place. So, the consultant that the school town is hiring, I think, is well ahead of the game. They also submitted some plans on another note for the, it doesn't really pertain to us, but they're turfing the entire outfield of the baseball field, and their soccer field will now be diagonal across the baseball field, and they're gonna be adding a big parking lot.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's, okay.
So, and I would assume, they say that this parking is for that, but I wanna say it was about 180 spots. I think it's for what eventually they plan on.
They're gonna put a building there.
Yeah.
So that means you don't have to wait for every person to cross Columbia Avenue, because they never wait for a group, they all do it separately?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
I'm gonna move, sorry,
something, so you're aware of that.
it's safer.
Out at the golf course, the pro shop project, there will be a change order coming. I was hoping that we'd have it for today. They didn't get it yet. I asked them for it. So this is, a zoom in of the area. That's the new pro shop building footprint. This is the shelter. This is the old golf shanty building where the ball machines are at. I've asked them to get us a price for paving or, pouring concrete pad in this area to help us store golf carts. The reason for that is now that this space in between the building and the shelter is on this next page, they gave us two options. This would fit. The green would be the pro shop building. This would be the shelter. As you can see, they can only stage 20 carts here, and it's really tight, really snug. If we lay them, the long ways here, it's only 14 carts. Well, 36 carts. So we have to find a way to store, make it available a little bit more there, so, I just wanted to give you that heads up that very likely, that'll be coming next month, I would think. They're getting closer and closer, they're waiting to find that out. I know I've been authorized, up to a certain dollar amount, I believe it'll be within that to authorize that. But I wanted to give you the heads up that that very likely is coming, for that next.
Are we still on schedule with that project?
It is, there's a few things that delayed it a little bit, the roofer strike did hurt, that was a month that they were down, the tile had some delays, that was down. The work to put in the gas line that runs from the back of the building, the electrical line going to the electrical hookup, and they were just wrapping up the gas line today. So that did delay and slow things
When do
down.
they think they'll be done?
They think they're still gonna be done, you know, by Labor Day, they think they're gonna be done. But keep in mind, Hassie's done. Our landscape contract separate, that may not be done. Our IT stuff will be after the fact. We have to pull fiber direct by us. We have to do all this internal work inside the building to get it ready, operational for us, so that'll take some time. The equipment physically moving, transitioning is a conversation we've already started to have with the golf course folks. How are we gonna do that? One day they're open at the existing pro shop, the next day we want them to open at the new building. How will we be able to do that?
Pick a rainy couple days in a row.
If we could see that on the forecast, that'd be great. So, and that's assuming everything goes well with the transition of IT, that everything is working right, and to throw it into it, not only the town's IT, but Indigo's IT folks. So, yeah, so there's a few things that we're working through that way. So, but that'll be coming here as well. All right, I said I was gonna slow it down. I'm trying to speed.
You're doing a good job of slowing down, and
Uh,
he's very excited that I'm not breaking his record.
Recreation guide is out, it's at the printer, it'll be sent out soon, the pool season wrapped up, we have financials coming next month and, recommendations for next year. The final soccer deadline is passed, we had 462 people enrolled this year, concert series are all wrapped up now for the summer. Moving to parks, we've been getting great attendance at those. In July, we had over about 400 people at those, so those are really nice turnouts. Canine Cannonball ran with $40 park members the day after the pool closed. Rentals, we had 37 rentals between the social center, shelters and weddings and so forth at the park. So everything's been very busy yet in the summer. On the maintenance side of things, just kind of a lot of staff support for, Babe Ruth Little League softball tournaments, the Lions Steak Fry, the National Night Outs. A lot of work goes into that, and just helping with that takes away from kind of the ongoing other things that we want to do. You may have seen a lot of our parks did get that mulch replenished in a lot of it. It's really bright wood colored, so the only two that we didn't plan on was the two that we're hoping to still get new playgrounds at, which are Briar Creek and Cobblestone, so those will be done when the new playgrounds get put in, which is, we still have to bring you at some point here in the future. The vinyl dumpster enclosure at the pool, near the skate park was replaced. That was one where the fence was kicked in on numerous occasions, so we replaced it with a chain link and the slats in the fence. And, have been, so far that it hasn't had the issues that we had with the old fence. Pool has been drained and winterized. The landfill flare, we had to get that back operational to be ready for when the engine replacement comes in the new year. So that's all been taken care of. Several rails of the bridge over Hart Ditch on the Pennsy have been, replaced. Did a lot of the trimming of the bushes and trees out at Centennial Park around the formal gardens, pressure washing the fence out there. The stairs, the fitness stairs, we replaced, a lot of the gravel and crushed limestone added up there, because that has been, wearing away, just for general use. And other than that, it's pretty much golf season's winding down, and, they'll be aerating tees as they normally do. We're getting lined up with a new compressor here, the blown up irrigation system soon, so. With that, that's it for the report, unless you had something else. Question?
Anyone?
This reminded me again, tennis lessons down there, I still have the money. The new tennis courts at the school, the agreement that we're gonna have is still the same agreement that we can still use the courts during the off
That would be the intent. That's what I've asked it to be. They mentioned in that review that 3 of them will always be available for our use, which I found that to be very interesting. I think they may have misspoken. But, we'll see when the agreement gets written. I sent, the town attorney a number of thoughts that when he puts that agreement together, as he hashes that out, that those would be
Yeah.
some of our concerns.
I don't want to speak for anyone else, but I know that that's what I understood during that meeting.
Yes,
That would be a
yes.
reciprocal
I agree.
agreement.
Yeah. So I
They're on
expect
our-
that to be in there, and once we see that agreement, before we approve anything, we want to make sure that those are in there.
That's it for the board report, the town council liaison report. I don't think we have one today. We'll go to items for discussion for action for the social center monitoring.
So the social center, alarms were not working. That equipment was upgraded, but because it's an ongoing monitoring cost, we need to have the board approve that. When those come in, it's billed monthly or quarterly at $36 per month. So bring that to you with a request to approve the monthly monitoring cost from Alert Alarm for the social center.
I'm just curious. You said it was an upgrade to the old equipment. Did we have an old service
There was an old service.
with a monthly fee?
There was monthly fees. My predecessor turned it off. I don't know. This was an inspection process through the fire department when they inspect the buildings and they discovered that it didn't go anywhere in the report. So we have had it. We can tell you that it's working. It's on some of our rentals. It has at least once gone off at one of the rentals.
So that's some cost cutting measures there.
So, yeah.
I feel that.
But this is a requirement. We have to have it.
$36.
Pickleball. Okay, and doing that, a motion there? Got that one. Oh, so you motion to approve, is there a second?
Second.
And there's a second to approve, our alarm system that will work at the social center. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, ayes have it. We'll move on to the Frank Hammond track change order, which, by the way, I think it turned out very well.
Yeah, so you previously approved the not to exceed at $64,000. When they actually got in there and started doing the measuring of the cracks, we were slightly over. It ended up being an extra $1,543.50. They asked me, do we want to cut back on fixing those cracks or to do it? I authorized them. I said, go ahead and do it. But because we had previously authorized that, we need to bring it to you today, to confirm that additional, dollar amount. So we would be looking for a motion to approve or confirm that additional $1,543.50 for the repaving of the track by Milestone, which is a total cost of $65,543.50.
I'll motion to approve.
I will second.
It's been motioned and second for the change order for Frank Hammond. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, ayes have it. We all received the Kids Fest, event report. Oh, and Jill is here to even give us a verbal report.
Not if you guys all read.
Hey, look, I think the crowd wants it. I'm gonna just tell you, so.
Speed up the meeting, Dan.
Well,
Come on.
it's already lost. We've already got bogged down in cobblestone, and so I appreciate the graphics and the report. They're nice. So go ahead.
All right, so I don't even know if this is on, but,
That's all right. It's just us.
Kids Fest for the second year in a row got rained out on the original date, so we had to go with the makeup date, which was in July, and it ended up being a very beautiful day, sunny and 80. Although attendance was low, we still had around 1,200. Lines were extremely long. We ended up closing all of the lines at 3 o'clock just so that they can get through the lines for their activity by 4. New this year, we did bring in a bubble guy that was extremely popular. We had 7 food vendors, 19 arts and crafts and business vendors, and then we worked with 8 outside vendors for the event, whether it be pony rides, bounce houses, stuff like that. We brought in over 12,000. We expended about 7,700, and then the variance was 4,800. So we brought in a pretty penny.
Yeah.
So you get a bonus.
There's,
All right.
there's a picture of the bubble guy.
I did not attend Kids Fest. I apologize.
What'd you say?
I did not attend Kids Fest. I
Well, you're
apologize.
not a kid. Well, you are a kid at
That
heart.
would not stop him.
That's correct. I got stopped from entering something.
Hey, we had adults in our phone party out there, so.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for them.
That's creepy, but okay.
All right, anybody have any questions on that one? It was me.
Looks good.
The next one will be the summer camp report, because we have soon concluded that, and I saw the reviews by the parents. I read them.
You read the review?
I did. I read it. Believe it or not, I don't have it with me, but I did. Read it.
Which reviews?
If you were reading the report, you would have saw the reviews at the end, right?
Yeah.
Bang.
They're right
On
there.
the page right there.
I'm,
On
for
the face,
$600, I get, I might,
yeah, I don't read a lot of things.
okay. So she wants to finish that.
All right, so this year, we ended up having 9 weeks instead of the usual 8. That's why, revenue is a little bit higher than what it was last year. Our head staff went really well. Probably about week 6, we had our main camp director leave because she started school down in ND. And she had, it's her first year teaching, so she had a lot of, meetings and stuff to attend. So from there, we ended up promoting within camp. A new director, and then we brought up a counselor to a coordinator position. New this year, for field trips, we had the Slew Moo Institute, which is like a slime museum, and that was extremely popular. Washington Park Zoo and Animals Around the World show. We continued with the treat Mondays, and lunches on Fridays. We had an average of about 50 campers per week participate in the lunches out of 100 campers that we took per week. And then this year in camp, we did bring in about 52,000 overall.
Oh. Excellent.
Very good.
Good job. Hey, thank you.
Mark wanted me to talk about the resolution 2024, if you wanted to.
Well, I guess that's next on the agenda. We'll talk about it. It's yours.
That included just an Excel spreadsheet of all of the programs for the upcoming fall brochure. Like Mark said, that is at the printer right now, and with Largus and Litho doing that, it should actually be out early next week in mailboxes. Everything that is green on there is something new that we were offering. If a program is offered for free, just know that they did take out a $250 ad to help offset brochure costs and printing costs.
So if we voted against it, would you have to go back to the printer?
Maybe.
We get in trouble with the state board of accounts because they wanted.
I just
that
was-
you
I
have
just
to
had to ask the
support
question.
all these fees, so.
Anyone have any questions on the fees?
No.
Boy, you really are thinking about voting against it, but okay,
Not me.
I will. Okay, is there a motion to accept the fees or any questions about the fees? Well, Jill leaves. Mark, anyone?
I'll make a motion to accept these.
I will second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Me.
Is that just for the record?
For the record, I would like to be opposed to it, because I want to see it go back to the printer and make sure that, you know, get them. I'm gonna be voted off this place anyway, it doesn't really matter. Anyways, we'll go to soccer jersey orders.
This is a last minute addition today.
Oh,
We-
okay.
We had find out on the, Abby has been in trying to always save money, found a different vendor. It was gonna save us about $400 to $500. What we didn't find out until today was that they want half of the money down. So we have to pay them as a first time customer of this place. So we talked to the clerk treasurer's office and they are approving of that, but we.
Who is it? Fantastic.
It's a vendor called Hashmark Network LLC. They're out of Crown Point. But
Like our money.
this is the cost, it will save us a few dollars and in the end, it's It's just getting the down payment to them. We want to get these ordered immediately, so, we would ask for your approval of this purchase from, Hashmark Network LLC as proposed here tonight, so.
All right,
It's a little weird, but
ordering soccer jerseys,
I'll motion to approve the deposit in the amount of. Can't see that far.
75.
This one.
$3,794.33.
All right,
My only question is, we use this company again next year, we don't change the logo, they keep the screen, so we don't have to pay for that, right? Because some
The
people will
logo
do that.
design is what we were paying for in this, so yes,
Yeah.
you wouldn't have to pay for that. The screen, a lot of times they will charge you for the screen because they'll tell you it won't last, for that many
Sometimes, sure.
seasons, but the design of, it actually is a new logo from what we've had previously used, so that's what that part of that, on the invoice is describing.
okay, there's a motion and there's a
Second,
to pay Hashmark LLC, Network LLC, their half the deposit of soccer uniforms. All those in favor say aye. Aye, and those opposed say no. Ayes have it. With that, unless there's someone else that needs to come to the floor, that's great. Board, we'll adjourn. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
And is there a second?
stay.
Well, if we could
Sure.
stay, I
I'll
can't break his
second.
record. After 25, I can't break his record.
I have a question. Well, when we share this online, because you view this on YouTube, why do we do a screen share like this and instead of just showing the video when most people that are looking on the computer have access to the documents right there on their computer?
I just think it's easier for you guys here to see it in case you don't have it or don't want to squint.
What,
at your
did you want us
phones.
to show a picture of us?
No, it was a comment was made to me, why do we show the screen share and not the
meeting itself.
meeting itself? And I said, I don't know. I'll ask.
The only thing that I can think of different, like I don't want to be seen by anybody. But if there's like a speaker in the crowd, I would say we should have that because they're unfamiliar with that, but as far as us, I don't know, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. I just said I
Well,
would.
think about it, this too, when I go back and like watch, when I'm doing the minutes and I'll go back and double check something,
Mhm. It's hard to tell who's speaking.
it's hard to tell who's speaking.
That was the comment. It was
Yeah.
hard to tell which one made the comment.
Yeah, and it's so small where
Yeah.
if it was a little more full screen, at least but, and the sound is horrible. It's really not good.
So you're saying leave it as this?
I mean, that was the comment made to me, like, why wouldn't we just put the link to the
Mhm.
meeting in the comments and then, like, we all have these, like,
Yeah.
literally, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen any of us without.
No, today I didn't do so.
Well, I know specifically the last time when Catherine was remote, we had to do
Oh.
it so she could do it, but I
Yeah,
mean, I just think that it was easier for people to follow along, but hey, it makes it easier on me. I'll leave it on the screen.
They're looking at the park board agenda
Yeah.
online and they're gonna go, oh, I wanna watch, I'm gonna tune in and watch that.
so you think it's better that way?
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, I'll start
Hey,
dressing up for
Janice.
the occasion. Well, I have to finalize, all those in favor of adjourning,
Cold
say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, all right, we're adjourned. I did not break a